Hi there, my name is Tom Glassman. I am a photographer. I'm going to be talking about, it sounds pretentious, the art of seeing, but how to go out and start looking and making yourself more susceptible to seeing images or scenes that would make interesting photographs. And a lot of what I've got today, I'm going to show you what I tried to do and what didn't work, because you have to know that too. Probably the most important thing is you have to know, if you're using a camera, you have to know how your camera works and how it sees. Now, if you are out in the forest and you see Elvis standing next to Bigfoot, the Loch Ness Monster, and Jackie Onassis, okay, with me? Do you know what your camera sees? 18% gray. This is all any camera sees. Ansel Adams' camera sees 18% gray. A little point and shoot, a $50,000 Hasselblad, they're all geared to give you gray. So if you ever went to the beach and got shots and they came back really dark, the reason was it's so bright and the camera says, I have to make this beach scene 18% gray. So you have to know how your camera is seeing in order to fool your camera when you want it to do something else. This is a color photograph of a knothole and a white picket fence with snow in the background. And again, you have to know that your camera is going to see this gray card. So you have to know your equipment and know that you're going to have to open up 2 stops or let more light in. You have to fool your camera's exposure meter to make it white. And now this is about seeing and how to see and this sort of thing. So what you have to learn how to do, or what I've trained myself to do, is when you go out and it's not there, what can I find? How do I look for something, like a detail or something? It's like, the world's greatest shot isn't here. What can I do now that I want to be arty? How do you look for that shot? When I was young and foolish, I would go out shooting, and my wife would always ask me when I came back, did you get anything good? And I was good enough to know if I had or I hadn't. And I would say yes or no. And now that I'm older and wiser, she still asks me when I come back, did you get anything good? And because I'm so wise, I say it doesn't matter, I had fun being out there. So part of the problem, or part of the answer to seeing more creatively, is you can't beat yourself up if you don't come back with the world's greatest shot. I teach photography and I tell students, when I take a picture, I don't use a camera. I see in my head what I want, I put this thing up to my face, it disappears, and the magic happens. And this is a case where, it actually was a little bit darker than this, but I knew in my head this is what I wanted. I knew if I spot metered on here, opened up 2 stops, and I would get it to be that effect. And it's almost like there's nothing there. It's just multi-shades of the sameness. The other thing to seeing creatively is called working the shot. The most important thing about a photography shot is something that calls your attention, and make sure, remember the word flirt. I want to come back to that, and it's what calls your attention and what attracts you. But the idea is when you go out and you take the shot, first thing you can do is take the damn shot. Get it out of your system. Whatever it is, it called you, so you take the shot, then you stand back and say, why did I take that shot? What was important to me about it? If what was important is just a tiny part of that shot, should I move in closer and make it bigger? So this is called working the shot. And I do this every time. Part of being able to see is not being so blinded by what you're going to shoot. Instead of being so focused, you're more open to what filters in through the side. So part of my being able to see is relaxing and just really being open to things. And I can't tell you how often I'll be walking by myself with my wife, and I'll stop and say, wait a minute, and there's a reflection and she'll say, how did you see that? Because we're walking and talking, and I'm always looking up and down and just being aware of stuff. Part of seeing, it's also composing. When you have a tripod, I use the viewfinder like a blank canvas. It slows you down, and I compose corner to corner. And you can do that. And so all these things you're seeing are uncropped also. But that's the beauty of a tripod. Instead of just taking a snapshot and moving on, and boom, 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 it makes you slow down and think, why am I doing this? What's important? What do I want for an entry? How do I want it to end? Is this thing better here, or being slightly cut off? Or take that and maybe move back and put something in front of it to obscure it. So part of seeing, I'm always thinking of layers and juxtaposition and corners, but the tripod helps you meticulously do it corner to corner. Now the other thing a tripod does, and this is critical for a photographer, with a tripod, all you have to worry about is composition. Lesser mortals who are too lazy to carry a tripod have to worry about camera shake and vibration, and they have to keep cranking up the ISO to get a high enough shutter speed to not get... So if you want a lot of depth of field and have to stop it down and do a lot of juxtaposition like I do, you're limited by how well you can hold the camera sharp. So you get out of the car or your spaceship if you're going between planets, and you leave it behind, and you go out without your camera, and you walk around and you just relax, you decompose, and you see if anything catches your eye, if anything appeals to you. You don't go charging out with a camera to take or shoot or capture an image. That's so adversarial. Open yourself up to it, and if part of the image is going to be inside your head, if that's where you're going to receive it and you're going to respond to it and formulate it, then if you don't have this hostile approach to the environment, it's going to open itself up to you, and you're going to collaborate for a better image. Like, this is infrared film, so you can just go out and you have to know how infrared, what it'll affect. Interesting thing, because it's heat sensitive, a lot of people do nude model shots of this because it goes right below the skin a little bit, because of the warmth of the body. So you get this very grainy, nice effect on that. Part of being open to photographs is having the courage to be politely intrusive and invasive, and go up and politely ask, can I intrude in you, and do that. And that's the hardest thing for me to do, and that's why you'll notice very few of my shots are people shots, because to me you really have to spend time and let them become at ease and drop their guard where you can really catch them the way they are. This is the Jackson County Fair, and it's a game where the ducks are floating. You try and throw a ring over them and get a prize. And late afternoon sun was coming in and lighting up the Little Mermaid. So I had the carnival barker hold people back, and I crouched down. You can see the lip of the tank there. And the trailer in the back with Kiss is, you walk through and you get scared. But remember I talked about layers and juxtaposition? Mm-hmm. It's the improbable stuff. This is another thing with layers. Seeing the horse wouldn't be that good by itself, but that in front of the horse. So again, learning how to see creatively is how to see in layers. This is a case in Bandon. I was in a restaurant eating, and this is the sun setting. It's not the light, it's the sun setting behind the lighthouse. So I kept going out on the terrace, the balcony, to shoot it. And of course, every time I came in, I had to go all around the restaurant and show people the latest iteration of the shot. But and at one point this bird flew through there, and I thought it ruined it. And of course, it's the one that made it the most. Anyway, everyone gets high marks for listening this long, and my wife will give her approval because I talk way too much and I get carried away. It's fun for me. I enjoy sharing it. The most important lesson to do for any of you as photographers or any kind of artists is to go out and have fun looking. That's what it's all about. And when you don't have a camera and you see something nice, frame it and just blink your eyes and catch it. And you won't have the proof, but you have it up here, and this is your lens here. So anyway, thank you for paying the exorbitant entry fee. I'll donate my portion to charity, back to the gallery, and thank you for coming. Much appreciated.
Thanks, Tom.